this is the only part of this video that you actually have to pay attention to. Look at the picture on your screen. That man right there is my grandfather. I lost him this past October to stage 4 cancer. And while my father has always been there, by the time I was born, my grandpa was retired. And our living situation was always 2 grandparents, 1 aunt, and my dad, and later a mother figure. So my dad was always at work, but my grandpa was always retired since the day I was born, pretty much. So that gave me and him a lot of chance to bond. He taught me damn near everything that I know now. He taught me how to love. He taught me how to hate. He taught me how to fish. He taught me how to hunt. He taught me what it meant to be a Lewis. And when I tell you that it's one of the greatest pains to watch someone that you love like that just slowly fade. You know, it all started one day. He just coughed up some blood, and he had to be convinced to go to the hospital. And then I think it was probably a day or two after he was diagnosed. And I think it was just me hoping and praying to God that it was just some type of like joke. I think back in my mind, I knew the facts. I just didn't want to face them. So I was like, well, that's okay. You know, we'll get rid of it. He'll just go through treatments and it'll be fine. And I think it only took about 2 months, 2 or 3 months for him to pass away from it. And he was away for so long, you know. I think I probably only saw him twice when he was in the hospital. He was at home for a little while on a oxygen tank machine thing. I don't know. It was unbearable to see him in that state. And as much as you want someone like that to stay around, there's also a feeling deep down where you're like, it's not right. You know, he's in a lot of pain. But out of all of this, the greatest pain, it was the day before he passed. The night before, pretty much. He could barely close his mouth. His entire body was so weak from the cancer and the treatment that he could barely shut his mouth. And most of the time he can't understand what he's saying, but there was one sentence that entire time that you could actually understand. I was wondering if he could go home. He wanted to go home the next day. He really thought he was. And honestly, I think I knew, but at the same time, I thought he was going to go home too. Maybe one day I'll wake up to the news saying, hey, he doesn't need any more treatments. Everything has passed. He doesn't need it anymore. And he's going to come home and, you know, he'll be here long enough to, you know, see me get married, or see my brother get married, or see my younger brother grow up. He'll be old enough and live long enough to be called a great-grandfather. Then the next day, after a long day of I was messing around that day, you know, I was just having some fun that day. I came home and my dad and my uncle were sitting outside. Then there was this pit in my stomach, like I knew what I was about to hear. But I also saw a motorcycle outside. I was like, okay, well, my uncle just bought a new motorcycle and they're just outside talking about it, so maybe it'll be fine. So then we got out and me and my lady was with me staying for a little while at the time. We were just walking inside and my dad says, hey, come over here for a second. And then I knew that it wasn't about the motorcycle. It told me that they had passed away that morning. He started breathing like he was in pain. So they figured they had to replace a tube, and they set him on his side to replace it. And whenever they put him back, he wasn't breathing. And as far as everyone's aware, it was very peaceful. From what I understand, the day before, whenever he kept saying how much he wanted to go home, we were one of the last people that he talked to. And that carries a lot of weight. Because after that meeting was over, everyone said, I love you to my grandfather except me. And me and him knew. Me and him had this certain bond. We knew. We didn't have to say it. But I didn't say it because, like I said, I was really hopeful that he would come home. I would have never thought that what was going to happen was actually going to happen. And it did. I'm a little bit better now, though. Every day I wake up and I'm thankful for the time that I had with him. And it's given me an entire new perception on life. But now there's this sense of freedom, knowing that he is in a so much better place than he was before. And he's probably looking down on me recording this, telling me, just suck it up. It sucks, but you have to move on. And I still hear him sometimes, Whenever you needed advice for something, he was always there to give it to you. So now every time I need advice, I hear him saying something in my head, telling me what and what not to do. I don't think there's anyone that could ever replace a figure like that in my life. The greatest pain that I feel right now is thinking about what if. What if it was all okay still? What if he was still around? But at the end of the day, you have to do exactly what he would have told you. That's to just get over it. Everybody in my family loved him to the moon and back 10 times. I can safely say that he was definitely my best friend.